this one I recently reviewed for you guys, and this is the Technic Foundation Balm in shade Oatmilk. They do 3 shades, I believe 3 or 4 shades. One of them is slightly lighter than this one, Buff I think it's called, or something like that. And then the next 2 shades down are very dark, tan and medium, so on and so forth. Really hot again today, getting ready for work. Probably not the best time in the world to film a video, but I wanted to get this out to you beautiful ones. A, so you can have something to watch, and B, I had this idea for this technique about 2 months ago, actually, when I was still living up the road. And I just applied some of this on the back of my hand, and then I did something to it, and it just looked amazing. It just basically virtually disappeared into the back of my hand, although the back of my hand suddenly transformed from that, which looks really old, doesn't it, into somehow I'll try and put a younger hand next to it. Shall I try and do that? Shall I, guys? Shall I stop waffling and get on with this old technique? Right. So first thing, what you'll need is you'll need a foundation balm. And a lot of these are wax-based because the wax, which is called microcrystalline wax, and that's what to look for in the ingredients, guys. A lot of these foundations have the waxes in them to give the foundation shape and structure. A lot of foundation sticks have microcrystalline waxes in them, or just waxes. Some of them have carnauba wax in, which is more natural than microcrystalline wax, but a bit low down. I'm just going to have to just rearrange, have a quick rearrangement, if that's all right, beautiful ones. It's all about framing, guys, isn't it? It so is. I've got like a grid thing on my camera so that I can just sit directly in the middle and totally ignore those grids. So I come over here, I come over here. Generally not in the middle, which is where I should be, but no, I'm kidding. Of course, I try to stay within the central box. Should I just talk about, so what you'll need today is a wax-based foundation balm. This one was really, really cheap, under £1.50, I think this cost me from Body Care. Again, I'll link everything I use into the description today. And you'll also need 2 of these. This was £1, possibly £2 from Superdrug. Spitting again, I do apologise. Getting excited. So 2 of these, I've got this pink one and I've got a mauve one, which is actually soaking at the minute. So you'll need something to soak your second sponge in. Do use warm water if your body gets thrown into physical shock like mine does every time it touches cold water. It does. It so does. It just does, guys. So it does. It just does. So right. So with your dry sponge, and there's a little, I've actually washed these first thing this morning, and how I wash my brushes and how I wash my sponges is that I get a bowl, soapy water. At makeup school, they teach you to use isopropyl alcohol, about a 50-50 mixture with soap and a detergent or something, and no, about a 33% mixture of isopropyl washing up liquid and water, something like that. However, I just use washing up liquid and a tiny bit of bleach. My bad, but we all know how much I love bleach, don't we? We do. So, right. So, okay. And I'll talk to you about this balm as I apply it. So all I need to do is just to get some of that onto the pointed end, like that. There's a lot there, actually, beautiful ones. In fact, I've hit pan and I've only used this. Trying to get it open without any fingernails isn't the easiest thing in the world. Can you see I've hit pan there? And I've only used this for demo purposes. I would never wear something that full coverage because it is pretty, it's almost like theatrical makeup. What you need to do is just to buff that into the sponge, so you're laying down a lot less product than if you didn't buff. I hope that makes, well, of course it makes sense. You're not idiots, are you? No, you're so not. And what we're going to do is we're going to build this up in very, very thin layers. So start in the centre parts of your face. And if you could try and get one which is slightly more matching to your skin tone than mine, than the one I have, because this is way too pale and it's slightly yellowy as well, whereas my skin is quite strong, strongly pink toned, or cool toned is the proper word. And can you see how much product that's laying down? It's laying down a lot less than if I'd just gone straight in with the, without buffing into the back of my hand. So if you go away with anything from today, I guess that the fact that, you know, that I'm teaching you beautiful ones how to buff is possibly the most important thing to do. Any foundation, liquid foundations, cream to liquid foundations, powder foundations, not so much, I suppose, because, well, we don't use sponges really. Well, we do, but I'm waffling now, aren't I? So that's one layer of that one on that side of my chops. And the studio lights are there and there, so I may as well just put it all over my face, mayn't I? Yeah, why not? So just get the rest of that produit. Thank you, Catherine Grout, for noticing that I'm still fluent in Le Français. As is my, shall I say it, beautiful one? Shall I say as is my want? Because I don't actually know what that expression means, although I say it a lot, don't I? Of course I know what it means. It just means, it's one of my idiosyncrasies, isn't it? Pretending to speak French when I think I got a C in French. Jeez, what's happening with hair? Collapsing a little bit at the front. I use conditioner in my hair, beautiful ones, as a styling aid, and I have done for years before all of these leave-in conditioners became en vogue or trendy. I've always just got a dollop of conditioner, put it into my hands, rub them together. Sometimes add a bit of water too and just run it through and then pull it forwards, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. And then about halfway through the day, it all starts to break up, and all you need to do is just run, or if you get fed up with the fact it's making your head feel like a helmet, you know, run your fingers through it and you'll have just really soft hair. Waffling now, aren't I? Again, sorry. So this side hasn't got as much on as that side because, well, I focus more on this side, didn't I? Because at the start of this tutorial, I was just going to focus on the right-hand side, which will appear left to you beautiful ones, but we need to even things out, don't we? We do. So just go in with your sponge again, gather up some of the product, and again we're going to buff that in. And this foundation sponge is very, very slightly damp. It is slightly damp, beautiful ones. Just working that in, and then I'm just going to buff that into my choppies. How are you all? You all okay, guys? I hope so. I just had a day off yesterday, which was Sunday. No, yes, I'm lying. Yesterday was Monday, today's Tuesday. Do try and get it right, please. Okay, I will. So work that into the beard. Okay. And try and get it in around your eyes if you can as well. What I'm trying to do is just to demonstrate to you how fake and unnatural some of these foundations can look. And then I'm going to teach you how to make it look a lot more natural. That's the whole purpose behind today's tutorial. So if I come in, just put my glasses on, although these are really, really filthy, so they're possibly not going to help me see any clearer. Yeah, no, they work. So now, because the foundation sponge was slightly damp, it has given my skin a sort of a much more natural sort of finish, isn't it, with a bit of glow to it, but I want to amplify that glow by about 100% or something silly like that. So should I build up more product? Or no, I've got to go to work soon, so I'll move straight on to the tip, shall I? Why not? So with your soaked beauty sponge, and this is soaking wet. I should show you what I'm doing really, shouldn't I? My bad. Just take it out and give it a quick squeeze. Now this is probably going to look a bit foamy because it's still got some of the remnants of the washing up liquid and the bleach mixture. Again, my bad, but please don't do this at home, guys. I mean, if you're going to do this at home, A, don't wash your brushes in soapy water with bleach, although I add a tiny, tiny, tiny amount, like a drop to about 3 or 4 litres of water, so it's not going to make any difference, just to kill those residence germs or those residual germs, I suppose. However, at home, please use isopropyl alcohol and just make sure you thoroughly wash them. So that's pretty wet now, and all I'm going to do is just bounce that one in over the top of the foundation balm. And this would work with any foundation balms, guys, be they wax based or silicone based. I know for a fact that Wayne Goss sells a cream to liquid, a cream foundation, which this technique would work on as too. I might have to speed this part up. And can you see what's happening there? It's just it's bringing my skin to life, and because I'm removing a very, very small amount of the makeup back onto the sponge, and also in addition of water to it, it's just changing the look of the makeup totally. It is. So my skin still looks perfected, although nowhere near as mask-like as it did before. Doesn't matter which end of the sponge you use, really. I personally think that by removing a very, very small amount of the foundation, we're making it look even more natural. Again, please adapt this to, do you know what I'm trying to say? I want to really finish what I'm saying before I ask you if you know what I'm trying to say. My bad, I do that a lot, I get that, guys. I was going to say that if you would want to adapt this technique to your usual makeup routine and try and make it as quick as possible, although I'm taking ages over it. So, that's the finished result, beautiful ones. What do you think? Not a long tutorial, I get that, but okay. I'd probably never release this one because it's going to be a load of old rubbish, isn't it? But no, it won't. What am I talking about? And do just work it into the eye area using your buffing, well, not my buffing technique. It's a technique. It's not mine. It's a buffing technique. Do use that around the eyes. In fact, just use it all over the entire choppies. And all a buffing is a press with a, it's really hard to describe, but just press. Do you know what I mean? Eagle-eyed of you out there will notice that my chin whiskers have suddenly turned black. How did that happen, beautiful ones? Just woke up this morning and they were jet black. No, it so didn't happen that way. I've dyed them, obviously. I'm trying to dye 1 millimetre long chin whiskers. Is not the easiest thing in the world, especially when you're using the dye which is designed to go on your head, or the hair, I should say. And obviously, again, do just, you know, work the foundation into the ears. Temples, I think I've done, haven't I yet? Why does that piece of hair keep flopping down? Stay up. Nuisance. Okay, so that's one. I'll just put that back in the Tupperware thing. Thank you so much for those, Alison. They're very, very useful. Alison, my landlady, who left so much beautiful stuff here for me when I moved in. There was a television. There was just so much stuff. So including those Tupperware things, which are coming in very handy to soak makeup sponges in. Not their intended use, I get that. But so what do we think to this finish now, beautiful ones? Obviously, I'll come in for a bit of a close-up. Why do I say obviously so many times? It's possibly not obvious to any of you, or to many of you out there, but patronising slightly, I get that too. But so if I come back here, can you see how it's no, you can see there, can't you? Got that signature glow which I'm always after. And it's added like a milkiness to my skin, but it doesn't look fake or block-like or mask-like at all. It just doesn't. And that's because I've added the water to the sponge and removed a tiny bit of the foundation. Not very much at all. Because by the time I went in with a soak sponge, most of the foundation had started to adhere to my skin anyway. So all I've done is just remove the layer that hadn't adhered to the skin, if that makes sense. And then by soaking the sponge, I've also changed the very nature of how the foundation looks on the skin. It feels really, really soft, it does. It just feels amazing. So I stop preening myself because I need to go to stop falling down. Let's lick that bit up there. This is just me, guys, Mr. Glamour. That's why you come to see me, isn't it? It is. So, I think I'll finish off there, guys, because there's nothing else to talk about really here other than the fact that today we've transformed the look of a really, and this is a really full coverage. It's almost like an Estee Lauder of maximum cover foundation or something like that. And had I gone in with a full layer of this, then I would have looked like a mask. It would have looked like a mask. Although, first of all, I went in with quite a thin layer, a very, very thin layer, didn't I? With a damp, not soaked, but damp foundation sponge. Buffed it onto the back of my hand. Gave it a good buff, didn't I? To make sure that some of most of the foundation had been absorbed into the sponge. And then I buffed it into my skin. And then I went and evened it up, didn't I? So that both sides of my face were, well, not identical because we're not symmetrical as people, we're not. But basically to give you a fairer idea of how it looks in the end. And then I just went in with a soaked sponge this time and went over the top. And you could even do it with a foundation brush, although I imagine it would leave quite a few streaks. So do try to use a foundation sponge where possible. And that's it, guys. And you could have amazing, milky, wonderful, glowing, perfect looking skin from a full cover foundation balm. If you guys, should I start that? Yeah, I have to start that again. If you beautiful ones enjoyed today's tutorial or found it useful in the least, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Similarly, please consider subscribing. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Said it, got it right that time. Phew. Helps the YouTube algorithm just push the channel up the ranking, whatever. Not that that's what this channel's about, because we're not, but do you know what I'm trying to say there, guys? Do you? Shall I just go? Shall I just go as opposed to heading into another session of waffle? I think I'm just going to go now, guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you all very, very soon for the next makeup tip. Take care. Remember, I do love you all.